You're not gonna believe this, but I just made my very own homemade cream cheese, entirely from scratch using only 3 ingredients, and it was really easy too. Anytime milk or cream go on sale, this is a great thing to know how to make because it ends up being a little bit cheaper. Not only does it taste great as is, but you can use it to make all of your delicious baked goods. This video just might change the way you use cream cheese, so without further delay, let's go ahead and make it. I'm gonna heat up a liter of 10% cream in a medium saucepan. Make sure your saucepan has a fairly thick bottom because this can easily scorch. You can use any type of milk for this recipe that has a 3% butterfat content or higher. So basically that means anything from whole milk or homogenized milk all the way up to heavy cream will work for making your own cream cheese. Let it come to a boil over medium heat, and as soon as you see the first few bubbles, you add a 1/4 cup of white vinegar or lemon juice. I'm using white vinegar today. And you just keep stirring it and letting it boil for another 3 to 5 minutes until all the curds separate from the whey. It's gonna look really weird, and depending on what milk and acid you're using, it might look different. Your curds might be thicker and chunkier. Mine happen to be a little bit smaller. So after a few minutes of cooking and stirring, you can take this off the heat. And now you want to pass it through a few layers of cheesecloth, or in my case, I'm using a nut milk bag. Place a strainer over a bowl like you see here, and then you put your cheesecloth or nut milk bag into that, and then you pour the mixture through this. Let it sit for several minutes, but you don't want to get rid of all this whey because if you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to show you a couple of good ways to use it. So after several minutes of sitting in there, I'm going to take this and very gently squeeze some of that excess whey out of there. And while I do that, I just want to quickly mention that if you're enjoying this video, let me know by hitting that like button. It helps the channel out so much, and I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to take these curds and add them to a food processor along with half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to blend this away. This is going to come together very quickly. Within a few seconds, your cream cheese is going to become a reality. If you wanted to make a flavored cream cheese, this is the point at which you would add your mix-ins, like garlic, chives, maybe some everything seasoning. If you're finding that your cream cheese is a little bit stiff, add a tablespoon or 2 of the whey, and then just keep blending it until it's your desired consistency. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Your homemade cream cheese is now done, and now you can enjoy it as is, or use it in all your delectable baked goods. This is superior stuff, guys. It's homemade. And look at how smooth and creamy that is. If I had bought this in a specialty deli, I probably would have paid triple than what I paid for this. And the end result really is high-end gourmet fare. Now to store it, I just put it in a crock with a lid, but any container with a tight-fitting lid will do. It'll keep for about 1 week in the fridge. And I have to tell you guys that this stuff is far superior in both taste and texture than any cream cheese you'll find in the store. And you saw how easy it was to make. And the really great thing about making your own homemade cream cheese is you can control the amount of salt you add to it, as well as the consistency by adding more or less whey. It's really, really wonderful stuff, guys. You have to try it at least once. Which reminds me, the full recipe can be found on my website. The link will be in the description down below. And as always, if you make it, let me know in the comments how it turned out for you. Now, as promised, I'm going to share a couple of uses for this leftover whey. I hope you're not planning on getting rid of this because it has a couple of really great uses. One of them is marinating meats. You can use it on pretty much any meats, but here I have some pork chops, so I'm just seasoning them up a little bit, and now I'm going to pour that whey over top of them and let them marinate for about an hour. Because the whey is very acidic, it's very similar to buttermilk, so that makes it ideal for tenderizing meats. The other great use for the whey is in baked goods, particularly the quick breads. So that includes muffins, loaves, biscuits, pancakes, pretty much anything that's leavened with baking powder and or baking soda. The acidity in the whey will react with those chemicals and give you really nice, airy results in all of your baking. My favorite thing to use the whey in is in waffles. They turn out so light and crispy, probably more so than when I make them with milk. So this just goes to show that when you make your own cream cheese, you're actually getting 2 products out of 1 ingredient: cream cheese and buttermilk. So how can you go wrong with this? So go try out this cream cheese soon and let me know what you're gonna do with it, how you're gonna use it. I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say.